All right, Pauly and Teddy back on SportsBit 2.0. Big game breakdown. Thanks to Intertop Sportsbook, 22 years online. Sign up, deposit, and win. Raptors at home, 7.5 and 206 the total against Boston. Toronto will essentially wrap up the 1 seed with a win. They lost last night in Cleveland, and Boston lost a tough one in Milwaukee. They played in Boston Saturday. It was 110-99. The Raptors have lost 5 of 8, Teddy. Their defense is struggling. More on that coming up. But all those guys were out with Boston, and it still didn't matter. And then we had some late fireworks in that game.
Yeah, we sure did. Things got really heated in the final seconds. 4 technicals were assessed between the two teams. We had Marcus Morris get hitting with 2 and ejected. C.J. Miles got one. Serge Ibaka got one. And, it was a situation where Morris was dribbling in the front court, and he was fouled with just under 11 seconds left to play. And then he started jawing back and forth. His quote, I just thought the game was over. And I think the foul was a little too much, being down 10 with 10 seconds left. It got a little heated. I don't know necessarily that it's something that's going to factor into tonight's game, but make no mistake about it. There's a lot of bad blood between these two squads already. And of course, we're talking about a pair of teams that, if things go as projected, will meet somewhere down the line in the postseason. The Celtics, in the second half of that ball game, they used some zone, and it really stymied the Raptors. They won the fourth quarter 28-15 after trailing going into that fourth quarter. Kyle Lowry, quote, "It had a lot of effect. We were stuck outside. We just didn't figure it out quick enough."
And now they lost at Cleveland again. And Lowry, who went to the Villanova championship game, obviously he was tired. He was terrible. And at least if you can't make a shot, play some defense. Calderon lit him up in the first quarter as the Raptors lose again. And Casey, not happy afterwards, quote, "Right now we've got to find our rhythm on both ends of the floor. Whether it's on offense or defense, that's slip sliding away from us. We've got to get that back. We've got 5 games to go. We've got to find our identity and get back to being who we are." I mean, you don't want to give people ammunition. And Lowry gave people ammunition going out late in San Antonio at the game when Villanova wins. And then in a huge game against the Cavs, he had nothing. That is now 0-9 ATS. That's a horrible run for the Raptors. 0-9 ATS since March 15th. Favored in 8 of those games as well. And this tweet from it's John Schulman. This is hideous. This was after they lost to the Cavs the last time they played that 132-129 game. The Raptors have been best at taking care of business. They beat up on the bad teams. But after 2 losses to 2 top 10 offenses, only the Cavs have been worse defensively against the league's top 10 offense. They are 28-1 with 99 points per 100 allowed against the worst teams in the league. The top 10 teams on offense, 115 points per 100 possessions. That is cause for concern. That got my attention. That's embarrassing. And right now, Toronto's a fraud. That is unbelievable, that stat, that they just beat up on the bad teams and the good teams destroy them on offense.
Yeah, I mean, that is really a great graphic to look at. Again, allowing 98 points per 100 possessions, number 3 in the NBA, against the weak teams, against the good offenses, number 29 in the NBA. Only the Cavs are worse. That's meaningful information. And of course, you talked about that 0-9 point spread run. You talked about the fact that Dwayne Casey is like, I don't like to see a number 1 seed in the East saying, we got to find our identity 5 games before the playoff starts. I don't like the fact that Kyle Lowry was in the midst of a huge stretch. This is Boston, Cleveland, Boston again, and he's out partying in San Antonio. I understand Nova's in the title game. I understand they win a national title. I understand his quote, "I'm still a professional. I just missed shots. I got back in time. I didn't miss nothing. I just missed some shots." But the bottom line is Kyle Lowry stunk last night. Of course, It's going to help because he's playing against Kadeem Allen tonight. The Celtics point guard situation is really a problem. Look at the thing from the Twitter before last night's game. Again, Terry Rozier out. Irving, Smart, Larkin all out. So here's Kadeem Allen, a guy who was signed, from the D-League, from the Twitter account last night. Steven says Tatum, Brown, and Horford will also share point guard duties. Any of you might play point 2, he says to the media. But you look at the numbers from Allen last night, really overmatched. 23 minutes. The rest of the game, Boston didn't even have a point guard on the floor. 2 points, 2 assists, 4 fouls, 1 turnover. Wasn't pretty for the youngster against quality competition. I'm not sure it's going to be pretty tonight against an angry and hungry Kyle Lowry.
Sure.
Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the games.